Leeds United have a very, very big week ahead. After all, the first window will be closing soon, but the Whites aren't the only one with a busy week. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to talk you through the huge few days ahead, what they will mean for Leeds United in the summer window, and a couple of other little bits and bobs that might interest you. So just before we get into all of that, if you aren't yet, it'd be massively appreciated if you could subscribe to the channel. More than half of you aren't, and that's half of people who watch very, very regularly. So if you've not pressed the button down there, that'd be massively appreciated. Each one is another penny going to Prostate Cancer UK on the day of the charity match. Anyway, also, get your tickets to the charity match. £7 for an adult, £3 for a kid. Do it. Be good stuff. Anyway, let's dive into it. So this week we've got a few little activities that we need to talk about. So first up, we've got the end of the first window. A lot of people went into this first little transfer window that started on the 1st of June and is running until the 10th, with the idea that Leeds United are going to sign a few players. It's going to set the foundation for the season ahead, and it's going to make everyone feel good and happy and fine. Slight issue with this is that Leeds did not proceed to do that. Instead, Leeds' approach was to wait, because as we learned as things went on and on and on, we found out that it's probably a case of waiting for the PSR deadline for the year. So that ticks over at the very beginning of July, which is why a lot of clubs you will see on the 1st of July will just go to sign a bunch of players. Because if you announce it at that point, it doesn't go into this year's finances, which puts you in a nice, comfy position, and it makes sure that you've got time to fix it rather than signing a bunch of players at the end of this financial year, at which point no one wants to buy your players that you want rid of because they're looking after their finances, and it becomes a little bit of a spooky spiral, and it's not exactly great. So the end of this first window, I don't personally see Leeds having signed anyone by the end of it, but it'd be nice if we did, and if there was a bit more conversation around it. But it's going to sort of be a little bit of a distinct moment where we'll know, are we rushing things, are we taking our time, and we'll find out a little bit more about that. In addition to that, there will be the release of the Club World Cup squads. Those need to be finalised on, I believe, the 10th or the 11th of June, at the end of this transfer window. And the important thing about this is you'll have lots and lots of clubs like Bayern, City are there, Chelsea are there, Real Madrid, Atletico, Juve, no, Inter. I think both, actually. A lot of clubs will be there that have massive squads and won't be able to bring everyone with them, and will be looking to trim down the size of their squads anyway. So any players that don't make it into those Club World Cup squads, you might want to keep an eye on, because they will be the sort of standard of player that Leeds might be looking at signing. Players that don't make it in at the very, very top of the game, but might be looking to either rebuild their career, or their youth players that are looking for more regular minutes. Have a look at those sort of excluded lists from those squads, and I think there'll be a lot of interesting names that we might want to pay attention to. Thank you, words. There we go. In addition to all of that, there'll be the continuing transfer and contract talks. We know that these never go away. We're in the transfer window, this happens, but especially when you've got several players that you know are going to be making moves. So Junior Firpo either needs to sign a new contract at some point soon, I believe in the next 23 days, otherwise his contract is just gone, or he'll go somewhere else, which means that in this next week or so, we're going to get a much firmer idea of what's happening with Junior Firpo. We'll hear news about the specific clubs that are looking at him a little bit more, and if Leeds are heading in that direction. And you'll also find out a little bit about the likes of probably Jack Harrison, or who else is on the move, Gelhardt or Greenwood. We'll find out a little bit more about all of those, because deals tend to get agreed in advance of the 1st of July, so the paperwork can go through on the 1st. So I don't see it being a very, very quiet week in the slightest. And the fan combined breakdown will be set to continue. If we've not signed anyone by the end of this first little mini window, a lot of fans will just lose their head. We know this, because fans are already losing their heads. But we don't need to do that, because I think we're in a fairly comfortable position at the moment as is. But there is also a Leeds-related group that are seeking a significant amount of financial investment, financial support, a significant little bit of a boost, which I think is sort of key not only to the Leeds United community, but could be key to a hell of a lot of people going forwards. And, oh, that's not Leeds United. No, I've bamboozled you. I've tricked you. The second half of this video, I'm going to be talking about the Gary Speed Walk, which is a big old charity walk that is going to be happening in the coming week or so. It's 120 miles long. We're starting in Newcastle. On day one, we go from Newcastle to Durham, and then Durham to Scotch Corner, Scotch Corner to Thirsk, Thirsk to Harrogate, Harrogate to Leeds. 5 days of walking, which sounds like an absolute nightmare, and it probably will be. But it's all for a very, very good cause. It's for Andy's Man Club. And the Square Ball's been doing these walks for a few years now. So there wasn't one last year. That's when I did the Like Wake Walk for Prostate Cancer UK. But the year before that, there was one from Liverpool to Leeds. The year before that, there was one from Wales to Leeds. And these are very, very important walks, in my opinion. And they raise a hell of a lot of funds for a cause that really matters. Andy's Man Club is a charity that sets up events basically constantly, week in, week out, in which people are able to just talk and feel like they have someone that they are able to talk to. And if they are not there and feel like they are able to talk, and that's completely fine, then they can sit and they can listen to the other issues that people have and how they're working through it and all that kind of stuff. And as a suicide prevention charity, they do a very, very important job. And if you have any spare funds floating around, anything available, it would be massively appreciated if you could donate to the walk at some point, just because it's a group that makes a colossal difference to so many different people. In a moment, I'm going to get onto the sort of practicality of things, but there's a link down below. If you fancy donating, go ahead and do that. I've also left the links to the Creator Cup stuff down there. That's not the focus of this video, but if you fancy getting a ticket, then you can absolutely go for it. What this means for the channel, though, is why I've called this a big, busy week, because it is going to be for me, because I'm part of this walk. So in the morning, probably as this video gets released, because I'm recording this the night before, I'll be heading to Leeds. Heading to Leeds to talk some charity match stuff with some folks, and I've got work on Sunday, which means that I need to be over in Leeds for the start of Sunday, which means I can't head over on Sunday. And then on Monday morning at 5:30 a.m., we set off to Newcastle, which is going to be a heck of a journey, heck of a trip. What it means for the channel is that for the next week, I will try to do a stream and create a video every day. This is where things get complicated, because for a hell of a lot of the journey, phone signal will be at best quite spotty. And for a hell of a lot of the journey, I'm going to be exhausted, in quite a lot of pain, and have not had the opportunity to learn a lot of things. So if I'm unable to do a video or a stream in any of these days, I apologize. I promise you I am absolutely doing my best, but we'll find out. And yeah, you can shout at me if I don't do any streams or videos or stuff. Whether or not I listen to you shouting at me depends on how valid it is. But yeah, that's the plan for the coming week. If you are able to, again, it would be massively appreciated if you could pop in a donation to the Gary Speed Walk. Andy's Man Club make a massive difference to so many people, and I know there's people that watch this channel that have attended their meetings, and it's really, really helped them. So it's not just helping a sort of wide community that exists somewhere but has nothing to do with you. If you're watching this video, there's a fairly solid chance that you know someone that has been supported by Andy's Man Club. And they're a fairly small charity, and they rely on events like this to keep on running. But yeah, ultimately, that was the point of the video. It was sort of sum up of what's coming this week, including in my life and throughout the walk. So yeah, if you haven't had the opportunity, please donate to the Gary Speed Walk. That'd be fantastic. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Even if you don't particularly like the videos, you don't have to watch any more of them. It's just subscribing means more money in the pot to Prostate Cancer UK as well. So win-win. For the next week, the revenue that I make from videos and streams will be going towards Andy's Man Club too. So you sticking around for the entirety of the video will mean that I get more in ad revenue, which means that more will go to charity. If you haven't yet, you can become a channel member as well. Get a bunch of videos early. I don't know whether they'll be coming out early for the next week, but we'll have to see. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you later. Ta-ra. This is going to be a hell of a walk. This is spooky. Oh dear.